call the meeting to order. Take a look at the minutes, consent calendar, and let the minutes reflect all board members are present. Any additions to the agenda? Hearing none, I would like to add an executive session. We could make it 5B. Probably two, one for personnel and the second for policy. I'd like to add those. That'd be, like I say, 5B, 1 and 2, two separate sessions. And anyone else? You good, Jeff? Good. Rod?
I'm good.
Lisa? Good. Okay. All right, motion to accept.
I'll make the motion, we accept the, as printed and as
Second.
read.
Second.
Motion and second.
Jim Westmoreland,
Yes.
Lisa Snodgrass. Yes. Charlie Shoemaker,
Yes.
Jeff Clark,
Yes.
Dean Mober.
Yes. Would anyone from the audience like to say anything tonight? Hearing none, we'll move on. Chief's report.
The only thing I have to add, we have had more grass fires this month than I think we've ever had. We have had two major incidents where we've had 8+ brush trucks on two different occasions. I've never seen it this bad. We've had quite a few grass fires, and we usually go help other departments, but this is the first time that we've ever had. We're trying to burn High Prairie down, is what we're trying to do. So we've had quite a few incidents, and we've been to Baser, and we've been to some other places to help them guys out, so it's this way all over the county, so it's...
Was this something a guy deliberately set and got away from him, or was it just...
Both of them were, both the big ones we had, I think one of them just set a brush pile on fire and then, hey, we're gonna go home. And the other guy tried to burn, and it was illegally, and he said, yeah, I'll have it out, and it didn't.
Well, that big one was on one of them windy days we had.
Well, both of them were.
That doesn't make sense. I mean, why does somebody not use it?
Both of them were. It's just so doggone dry. It's, people, I can light this and get away with it, and then that humidity drops, and there's no way you're gonna put it up. That's why we've had every north end department helping us on several calls, so.
And you had how many this week? I mean, I saw the trucks
We
going
had
out.
4 yesterday.
Yeah.
So we didn't have any Saturday. I think we had 2 Friday, and then we had 3 Thursday on top of the one big one, and 2 other ones on top of that, so.
Well, I read about that thing in the paper, that big one got into the woods, that really...
Yeah, that's the problem. They get into woods, and
Yeah, it's hard to
and
get...
it's all handwork after that. I mean, they go slow once they get into the woods, because otherwise you can't keep up with them.
Tougher to get to
across the
with
pasture.
vehicles.
Manpower-wise, we've been all right on them.
Well, that's why we've had to call for additional help. That one fire 2 weeks ago, we had every member but one. And that's the first time I can ever remember. Of course, it was over a 9-hour period. We went out at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and 10 o'clock at night, we're just clearing, so.
Wow.
We had everybody here at one time.
Is there a burn ban on right now by the county?
There is on certain days, like today there was no burn ban today because of the snow. Yesterday was a moderate day, Saturday was a high day, Friday was an extreme day, so it just goes day to day, and we get that notification at 7:30 every morning, so. But there's people that have to burn the CRP ground, and we gotta get it burned, and I understand their point of view. They gotta get it burned, and the state keeps saying no burning, so they're gonna go out and burn it.
And in the county, though, they're getting their permit from the county sheriff.
Well, they don't get a permit anymore. They call in
Yeah.
and they get a
Call
number.
in, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they just tell them.
But you know, I use my own judgment. If that dang wind is
Yeah,
rattling my ears, I don't even call in. I mean,
Yeah.
It's common sense.
that's
There's a lot
just
of people
plain,
that-
and usually our folks up in this area, usually down south burns real bad because those people, and we never have any problem, but this year, of course, it's just been 2 big ones, and it's, so,
There you-
yeah, so we've got to use all of our equipment. We've used equipment that we haven't used in years.
Well, the only thing I was concerned with, Chief, is if we having them many, when you're on that kind of a deal, which is a big deal, especially if it's going towards somebody's house, and are we protected still here, or are we asking somebody else to come
Yes, we
and cover us?
we have backfill, that's why I say we had 8 brush trucks, then we had Fairmont coming up into here, and then one
Okay,
time we
that's
had
what
Leavenworth standing by, and then Thursday we called for Leavenworth, and they decided to stand by their station instead of here, but luckily we had a couple of guys show back up, and So no, we're backfilling
Yeah, 'cause
and
if you
getting
got
5
that-
departments.
If you got that big a deal.
Oh, yeah. No,
And you
we're-
got everybody out there, then we still.
We're bringing people up and we're having trucks stand by and
Well, that
county,
one
all the
real,
chiefs are pretty decent on that anymore. They're moving people around.
that one real big one got pretty close to a house and some outbuildings, didn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, the only other thing on your report, you want to go ahead and talk about the agreement that was finally done with LCF?
We did get the agreement back with LCF, and the only thing that changed on it was they will give us 2 years' notice. Other than that, it's samey as it was.
We had requested 3.
We requested 2.
Oh, we requested 2.
Yeah, we requested
Good.
2, and they gave us the 2 years, so,
Nice.
but everything stayed the same after that, so. Which, we got something.
Yes.
Yeah, better than I thought we'd do. Okay,
And I think I told you guys, we've got all the paperwork done now, and the Station 2's in our name, all the trucks are on our name, so everything's done. I checked the county records the other day, and according to GIS, Station 2 is owned by District 1. So, we're all up and running.
good deal. Only other thing I'd make comment on is, sorry to receive a letter from Jake. I understand he's got some issues to take care of from a fire district point of view. Sorry to lose a lieutenant with his experience. Somehow want him to realize, thank him for his service, and sorry to lose him. But if it's best for he and the district, then that's what he should do.
We had that conversation, and that's where we're at.
Items for action, I don't think we have any.
Nope.
Items for discussion.
We usually go over our capital improvement projects with you guys. Usually do that in February, and we didn't get it done this year, so up on the board, and I gave you guys a copy of this. This is my projection for when we need to replace equipment, what we should be putting back for all the trucks, got to give you guys an idea of what we should be putting away every year for capital improvements. So the yellow is what we are committed to, what the board's already said we're gonna buy and we're making payments on now. The top one is the 2011 Dodge. We got 3 more years to pay on it. The next one is the 1988 truck, which we'll be receiving here in June. That's a 10-year payment plan.
The
on it.
replacement truck,
Yeah,
To replace the 88.
replacement.
1988 replacement.
Yeah, the 1980 replacement. So that's a 10-year payout on that one. The next truck we're looking at replacing is a 91, and that should go about 2017. And that should be about $350,000, $400,000. That's the truck we have at Station 2. That's a little cheaper than the truck we just bought, because it's going to be a 2-man cab, and there's no sense of having it being a big cab and all that.
And you're estimating $500,000
I'm estimating probably on that one, $350,000,
by
$400,000.
17?
Yeah. I think I had $500,000 in there, but if we stay with a commercial cab or a smaller cab on that one, we can get by a little cheaper. Depends on what we do out there, manpower-wise. Then after that, next truck's in 2020, then the next truck's in 2023. And it all goes on out. I've got them all projected out to be replaced out in 2027, where we'll replace the last ones. And then we start all over again. So, but that, once you see out around 2027, we finally get down to about $127,000 a year, what we need to put back for capital
Can you
improvement.
scroll back over to the other side?
We can do that.
So we're looking 50 grand for a roof next year?
If I can get somebody to come up here and give me an estimate, I've been trying to get some roofing companies to come up here and just give me not a bid estimate, but a budgeting estimate, and I haven't had too much luck yet, so.
Are they giving you a reason on it, or
Well,
they just?
they're busy and, they'll bid one, but, just come up and look at it. A couple of guys said, yeah, we'll be up there, and they haven't showed up yet, so. I'm still working on that, so.
Local or,
I think we're gonna have to get somebody out of Kansas City. I called Brunson, he said, yeah, I'll be up there, and he hasn't showed up, but he doesn't really do.
Basil doesn't do anything like that?
No, Basil's doesn't do metal, I don't think so.
Ah.
So I was looking for somebody to do a metal, we're looking at somebody to do a metal roof, yeah, because we're gonna have to take the plywood. The roofing itself is fine, it's the plywood that's bad underneath
The
it,
base, yeah.
What-
yeah.
So because of the water, or what?
No, because I don't think they used heavy enough plywood when they put it up there. So they probably should have used a bigger grade plywood.
Or we have leaks?
Yeah, we've had nails popping up through the through the shingles, and we've had several really good leaks.
Okay.
So we go up there, every 2 or 3 months, and the guys are tarring the nails.
All right.
So we're making temporary patches.
So it's metal or it's,
No, what we got is it's asphalt.
and you want to put a metal
We
on?
want to put a metal up, metal's forever.
Okay.
Because we have to, like I say, we could put a new composite on it, but it's the plywood itself. So if we have to go take the composite off, put new plywood on, and by the time we put new plywood on, we're probably cheaper putting metal over the top of it.
Okay.
And that's what I want to get, talk to these guys and find out.
So it might be helpful to get some opinion, unless you've already done it, some opinions on why metal's better, other than it's louder. Are you saying it lasts longer than a?
Well, they say it lasts forever. It's you put it on, you're done with it.
So they give a lifetime warranty?
Yeah, I believe that that's why they're putting it on these new buildings. If nothing.
If they use a copper alloy, it'll be there,
I don't know what they
it'll be
do.
there when the building falls.
We might check with some of the big metal building companies.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna get a hold of Bohannon out here at the school and find out who they're gonna be using, and just, if I can just get somebody up here and give us a budget.
There's a gentleman in Baser that's a wick dealer. That's who I got my building from. And of course, it's all steel.
Yeah.
And that the roof, huge sheets, 20, 30 feet by,
Yeah, and see, that's what I talked to Brunson, they do metal building, but they
Yeah.
don't usually put roofs on over other roofs. So
Really?
They had an outfit up here doing the prison, I talked to him, and he never made it by,
Okay.
so.
What kind of roof's on Station 2?
It's a whole metal building. That's a
Oh,
whole
it's all
metal
metal,
building,
yeah.
so that's not a roof over the top of this one, so. So we're working on that. I'm trying to get somebody to give me a, I don't want to tell them I just want a budget. I don't want a bid, it was, approximate.
and your recycling hose, as you always do.
Yeah, on the hose, we've got it set down to so many years. Oh, before we get to the hose, the next big item we've got coming up is air packs. We just had the bottles hydrostated tested this year. They're 15-year bottles. So this was their 10 years, so in 5 years, we've got to replace all of our bottles.
How many?
54 bottles, I think.
Do you have any that are issues that need to be replaced now?
Nope. No, they're composite wrapped. The steel bottles are forever, but they're lower pressure. The high pressure bottles are composite wrapped, and they're so new, NFPA won't guarantee them over, NFPA won't say they're good over 15 years. They're probably good for 30 or 40 years, but right now, nobody's gonna say, yeah, these are good over 15 years. So in 15 years, we gotta scrap them all.
So in 5 years, you're gonna wanna buy 50.
We're gonna wanna buy at least 50 bottles, and by that time, the air packs are probably gonna go, because we get the air packs serviced every year, and we spend about $6,000 on parts for air packs this year.
Well,
So
and that's
they're
what
starting to go
That's where I
also.
was coming from, Chief.
Yeah, they're starting to go also.
Should we be a little smarter than that, I think, and say, okay, we know it's coming, so in 2.5 years, buy 25, and the other one 25.
Well,
It's cheaper.
that's what I've been planning to do, that's why
I
it's
mean,
kind of up
yeah,
there.
instead of waiting and then all of a sudden hit us with that and then
Yeah.
come back with the other, then you're,
Yeah. And see, that's something we gotta look at. If we stay with MSA, then will our mask be good? We don't have to replace the mask. If we bid all new, then we'll have to go all new. So that's a whole lot of different things we're gonna have to be looking at.
So the ones that are metal tanks, those are a lot heavier?
They're a lot heavier and they're lower pressure.
Okay.
It's what we used to use years ago, the 2,200 pounds, and you could stay in 20 minutes. Well, now we use 4,500 pounds, where you can stay in 45 minutes basically, but they're a composite. They're still a metal bottle, but they're wrapped with the fiberglass. And they're probably good for 30 years, but they're not old enough.
Can't get enough.
And there's not a long enough history behind it yet to say, yeah, they're gonna last.
Are you not allowed to use them after 15?
No, we're not allowed.
No.
They will not test them after, this is the last time they'll test them.
Okay.
And we have to have them tested every 5 years.
so it's just like our trucks, our equipment is going to be coming all the
Right.
time. Whether it's
And I just want you guys to be aware, in about 3 years, like you said, Charlie, in about 3 years, I'm gonna be coming up, okay, we need to be looking at this, do we wanna stay with MSA, we can use pieces and parts, do we wanna go, and that's what we're gonna have to look at, because we've been living off of Kansas City, Missouri parts. They had the same air packs we had, and then they've upgraded theirs, so Conrad does our servicing, and so he's had Kansas City, Missouri parts, and we've been kind of living off those parts for the last couple of years at a reduced rate of replacement.
Should we look at, you're saying 15 and buy out of that, 15 goes 3 times or 5? and look to say, okay, we're gonna buy this many in 5 years, we'll buy this many in 5 years, we'll buy this many in 5 years instead of waiting.
Yep.
And then the same way with the other thing, because otherwise, we're trying to do what we're trying to do with trucks and your trucks and
Yeah.
equipment. We're gonna be hit with some big,
Right. And that's why I'm giving you guys this information.
yeah. I
We're
got
looking
you. I
at,
got
what
you.
we did, we got a grant for all these air packs back in 2004. So we got all the air packs at one shot, all the bottles at one shot, the compressor system in the back at one shot. We got a $140,000 grant. We bought everything at once. Now, the compressor system's fine, it's not, you know,
Are
it's
we able
good.
to do another grant?
I apply for grants every year, but I can't apply for the air bottles for another 5 years. They have to be at least 15 years old
Before you can apply for
before we
it?
can apply for a grant.
So there's a chance you could get a...
Yeah, there's a chance we could get another grant. But the grants, again, are dropping off if you read.
It'd probably be worth looking at what we're estimating to be in our fund and do some comparisons to how much we're gonna have in there compared to, and then also, are those bottles leasable, lease down kind of things?
No, you have to buy them because you're tearing them up. And I don't know if anybody leases them, everybody buys their own. Yeah,
A loan out on them versus so you can diffuse that cost out versus...
yeah,
Well, like Charlie said, we might look at it kind of like the turnout here.
yeah,
Yeah.
Every year buy 5 new ones,
yeah,
Yeah.
we can do that.
as opposed to 50.
Well, you're gonna, at the end of 5 years, you're gonna have to buy them, aren't you? In
No, that's
5
what I
years,
said,
you're
every,
gonna-
every 5 year, what he's saying is buy 5
Buy
every
new
year
every
instead of
5 years.
buying. We have 26 air packs right now and then 2 spare bottles. So every 5 years, buy 4. Or every 4 years, buy 5.
But if we can use
whatever.
these up for 5
Yeah.
years,
Yeah, in 5 years, yeah.
That's
you
what-
would start buying
New.
5 after that?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to have some, because...
We have to have, no, we won't wait for 5. We'll start buying in 4, then 5, and then 6. 4, 3, 4, and 5. However, we'll just have to look at it. I'm making you guys aware that in 5 years, this has to be done in 5 years.
Sounds like
Whether we replace the air packs or not, but the bottles have to go in 5 years. And I would imagine the air pack, like I say, we're running out, we spent $6,000 this year on just parts, keeping the air packs running. And that's
If we're
not
not looking at
including,
large capital outlay, shouldn't we be buying those now?
we can, but they're good right now, so,
At the end of 5 years, they're good for another 5 years, 26 of them, right?
right.
So in that 5th year, we either have to, those, we can't use those anymore.
The bottles, no, the bottles are done.
So at some
The
point...
packs can probably still go, don't know.
Okay.
But if you buy some 2, 3 years ahead of time, you just lost that much shelf life on down
Yes.
the line.
But yeah, we do, but it also staggers out, just like the hose. We bought a bunch of hose at one time, and now we're finally staggering
I
out the
agree
hose.
that we ought to try to.
That's why I've got this set up, so we can start staggering them.
So we will swallow the 2 or 3 years we lose on the aging.
Yeah,
But the advantage will be we're.
yeah. And I just want to make you guys aware that, hey, this is coming up in 5 years. We're going to be doing some major air pack stuff in 5 years.
So if we get some pricing, why wouldn't we just set aside that amount starting next year?
Well, that's what this is for, starting to set aside.
Yeah, this is
you know,
to get our plan,
Yeah.
Chip, so we might say, next year buy 5.
Why would we buy them? Why
Or
don't we just
save-
say next
or-
year, put aside
Yeah.
money to buy them? Because why...
Well, that way
Yeah,
we
either way,
lose the
yeah, even
age.
better.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing, if we keep putting money aside, and that's why I've got the prices down for, and at the very bottom, it shows you, we need $300,000 a year to buy, we need to put $300,000 a year to buy everything we need to buy. Well, we're not gonna put away $300,000 a year.
That's-
Jimmy thinks it's better
Out there,
to,
But to replace everything we need, that's why I have this plan set up, so you guys are aware that we do need replacement stuff of that much.
So you think it's better as a line item then, to have specific budget item, as opposed to equipment?
Well, to show visibility on it, or in the program, and I think so. I mean, in other words, Rick can look at the drop dead date on a mass buy, cost that, and then we'll drop back, starting maybe next year or this year even, since and then if that's 8 years from now, I'm just using figures, then we'll just start budgeting or reserving 1/8 of that amount.
That's right.
And then when that drop dead date comes, we got all of that money and we just go and get it all at once.
Yeah.
You don't lose any year or two on the age of the bottles that
But
you're not
but
using.
then you gotta throw the air packs in, then you gotta throw the hose in there, then you gotta
Well,
throw the
that's
trucks
the
in there.
same thing.
That's what this is all for.
Yeah, the sum total.
Yeah.
Well, if you're able
When
to use
this
the air
has to
tax,
be-
those seem like you could start phasing those in after year 5.
Yeah,
So you start to phase those out as they become
Right.
inoperable, or whatever that looks like.
yeah.
But a full.
The other thing the board could look at is all of that, what do we call it, equipment replacement?
Equipment reserve.
All our pot, our sweet pot, that maybe just pull out a little seed money to start with.
And that's what it's for,
Yeah.
and that's what it's for. So,
Well, I think that's a study session item.
well, and like I say, this is a couple years down the road
Yeah,
yet, so.
but that's good to have.
But, yeah, I just
know
want you guys to know, hey, it's.
What's coming.
5 years from now, all of a sudden, boom, it's here, and we
Right.
need to do something, I don't, no surprises,
Yeah,
so. And you can see thermal imagers, we've got one of them coming up due here, in 2015, 2017 or so. It's gonna be 12 years old, so there's another 10 grand. And then we go down to replacing hose, and hose, we're in pretty good shape. Right now, we don't have to replace any hose out there for several years. Again, the green dates is when we want to start replacing it, and this is, what I've got over here on the side is the years we bought all the hose. And we're trying to keep for 20 years or 15 years, or how long it goes from there, so.
What do we do with the
We're in
old
good
hose?
shape on hose. We finally got a good schedule set down on hose now.
What do you do with the old hose?
We donate it to construction companies mostly.
Okay.
They do, they've done some work for us, so we
Yeah.
give it to Larkin, Relina, Weaver, Cause, those guys.
Okay.
And we just give it to them. We've given the prison quite a bit.
Okay.
So we just give it to them, and it's no liability, and it's out here.
What size hose gets the most wear and tear, the smaller ones?
Yeah, the smaller ones. So it doesn't, we figure 15 years on that, because that gets drug around. And
That's the kind of firemen you don't normally drag.
yeah.
The hole, right?
Oh, yeah.
The big one.
That's what we
The
fought
big
fire
one.
with, and 15 years on that's pretty.
Because a 4 and a 3 inch, they're not that flexible.
No, they lay on the ground, that's supply hose, that's what we lay from the hydrants to the trucks, and unless somebody runs over it with a car, which is bad. But we test hose every year, so it all gets tested. Air packs are tested every year, trucks are tested every year. In fact, the trucks are coming up testing this week, so they'll be up here this week.
Yeah.
Get trucks tested. Radios, that's another item. We got 2 more years on the radio bids, and they're about a 10-year item, so about 2016, we're gonna be looking, 2017, we're gonna be looking at buying new radios.
Now, this is the radios that aren't exactly the ideal, I mean.
That's what the county's going to, Leavenworth City is going to them now, thank you. Now, they can be miserable like the rest of us, but the radios are what we got, they're 800 radios, and that's what everybody's using, and we can talk to everybody, and they worked out fairly decently. I think we got most of the bugs. We've got some areas where that 800 doesn't work, so they put some, what we call TAC channels in for just direct contact, so we can talk to each other without going through
Yeah, that's the reason I
repeaters. So
thought I
I think we got
remembered.
most of the bugs worked out of the radios now. So, but again, in about 7 years or so, we're gonna be looking at starting to replace radios.
Yeah, that's why we need to stagger all of our stuff. So
Right, and that's,
we just
you
can't.
can look and see there for this year, we need to have 45,000, just this year, we need to have $45,000 in equipment reserve just for equipment. That's not including trucks.
But even with AM, there's a few dead spots in the county.
Yeah, even with this 800, there's some dead spots. Okay, down below, you notice I took out the Station 1 expansion and the Station 3. But again, Station 4, if we want to put that out by City Park out there someplace, there's a $600,000 expense, $66,000 a year for 10 years.
Is the city requesting us to?
No, that's just this is my projection. I don't want to hit you guys up in 5 years saying, hey, we needs to be out there because we've built 400 houses out in the subdivision out there, and now it's over 2.5 miles from this building, so we're gonna lose our fire rating if we don't have a building out there. So this is a projection, sometime in the future, a station needs to be built out there, whether any of us are still here or not. That's where we need to grow. So, then the roof on Station 1, and air conditioning for this building. I tried to throw everything in there that it'll probably go bad, and we're gonna, major ticket items.
What's the difference in the distance from here to the city park and fire station number 2 to the city park?
Station 2 to City Park is probably 4 miles,
And how far is this to the city?
probably 2.5, well, it's over 2.5. It's a mile. How far is it out to your
Couple
house?
miles from,
2.5 from 7 to my house,
Okay, so 3.5 miles.
from the station, about 3.5.
And
I'm
it-
trying to see the difference.
It's close,
If-
but
if-
Station
Yeah.
2 is further out.
Well, they require in town, again, we're talking ISO, but we're talking our fire rating. Our
Yeah.
fire rating's a 4. If we screw with it too much, we get it dropped to a 5 or a 6. They want all houses in town within 2.5 miles of a station. So that area, when Dean gets annexed out there and all that gets developed out there, that's where Lansing's growing. So your house, Jeff, is over 2.5 miles from this building.
My house
The new
does?
house, the new high school is,
Okay.
so,
Yeah, there's gonna be definitely growth out
yeah,
there.
there's definitely gonna be growth in that high school, so there's gonna be a station sitting there someplace.
Probably.
Whether this board and I'm still here, but, it may be 5 years, maybe 10 years, maybe next year. There's gonna be a station out there, so projected $600,000 cost.
And so what drives that decision? The number of houses that are out there?
Number of houses, and,
It's like 400? Or-
no, it's just when ISO comes through and says, hey, you're over the rating, we're gonna drop your rating, then that's when we really need to look at it, because that's
Yeah.
when they drop our rating, then
They usually give you time to,
yeah, they'll give us some time, and this guy now, I was talking to him again today, and he's very good to work with,
Good.
he's on it, and so he's a lot better than the last one we had, so.
Good.
Because I emailed him a couple of times, and he emails right back, and so he's real good to work with, and he's working on Station 2 right now. Our rating
Now,
for-
why is Station 3 lined out?
You want to tell him on Station 3 lined out, Jeff?
well, first of all, we never agreed that Station 3 should be on there. So for it to be on there, we probably should have, is Station 3, Station 3 is where?
Station 3 was the North Kickapoo Station, or North High Prairie Station.
Yeah,
So the North High Prairie Station, they've never requested us to officially request us to put in
Put that
station.
man down here.
I'm just,
The guy's looking over his glasses at you.
and we haven't had any discussion around voting for Station 3.
number.
Well, as far as I know, the trustees out there, they want to build that thing, so.
They can probably put in a request for that, and we can have some dialogue and provide some feedback.
But these figures are what we estimate it would take for us to go on to the inside of the building and do what we need, right?
That's just building the building, that's not manning it, that's just building the building.
Have an empty.
Oh, I did that, it's not our money to build a building, it's
Well,
High Prairie.
But I gotta figure, again, I put this up there for you guys' information. At some point, I feel there's gonna be a building out there, but it brought up so much turmoil last month, I go, okay, I'll just take it out. And it probably should stay there, because this is what I feel where the district needs to go. So again, it's just a roadmap, the cloudy crystal ball, what the future's gonna bring. And you guys can, won't tell me, hey, you never brought this up, we never saw this coming. Well,
Yeah, I thought that-
I'm trying to get it out there, too.
It's real scary when you get talking about Station 1, Station 2, Station 3, and then later down the road with the new school and the houses, Station 4. So this city's gonna have to get a lot bigger, and their taxes are gonna go way up in order for us. I mean, building a building is one thing, but having it manned and the equipment, because now we're just saying the same thing we said a while back. It doesn't do you any good to build a building if you ain't got anybody to man it and you ain't got no equipment in it. You just got an empty building.
Right?
I mean, is your township wanting to build a station?
No,
I didn't think so.
I mean, no discussion,
Yeah.
no real concern, mainly because we've got City Park sitting right there.
Right.
So if there's a station put in, it's in our backyard to begin
Right.
with. So, not a big issue, in opposed to High Prairie that's got nothing at that end.
Did you have a conversation with Jim Dyson, or was it you?
No,
What?
we were,
One of you guys
he was
talked-
wanting to get together,
Yeah.
and,
That never did happen, huh?
No.
Because I thought I missed it or something.
No.
no, just waiting.
He was supposed to get with me, tell me when he wanted to do it, and he's never got with
Never
me yet,
done
so.
that. Well, it's in
Trying to
his,
get a feel for
the
High
ball's in
Prairie's
his court.
plan But, and he requested the meeting.
Yeah.
So,
Did they get the property?
No, not yet.
Okay.
yeah.
So, but again, this is my roadmap. The board asked several years ago, where do we want to go? So this is what I've developed since 2010 or 9, whenever. And I'm trying to put out everything that I feel where this district needs, where it's going to go through the next, I got it out the next 15 years.
Does the
And
city
my crystal ball
provide-
is really cloudy what's going to happen in 15 years.
Does the city provide projected housing growth, and in what areas?
That's what they're working on now with this comprehensive plan, I think.
Seems to me like it'd be an easy plan. Based off of the information they're putting out, we build our plan off that. If you're projecting, I mean, when's the last time we grew over 100 houses?
Yeah, we grow about 5% a year. Lansing grows a little bit each year, you know, Baser, Tonganoxie, they're going a little faster, Leavenworth's going backwards. They're getting smaller, but Lansing's got a good, steady growth. What I want to avoid is down like where my daughter lives, where 10 years ago they had 1 fire station, 1 high school. Now 10 years later, they've got 7 fire stations and 8 high schools. And of course, with each high school comes 2 middle schools, and each middle school's got 4 elementary schools. So they've got to buy ground years and years in advance, so that's what I'm looking at. If we need to do this, and, you know, that's why I approached the city years ago. You got City Park here. How about us putting a station out there someplace in a corner? Won't cost nothing, that's security for your park. You know, it makes sense to me. We don't have to buy ground now. They've got security for their park, and we got that area covered.
But Jeff, I agree with you that that should be based on need,
Yes.
not desire.
Right. That's a fact.
So,
And I
But
think
the city
again,
would-
but again, nothing's gonna happen until this board says, yeah, we're gonna do it. I'm just saying, I see
yeah.
the need for this.
Well, you seeing the need versus the city seeing the need are two different things.
Well, I can't help what the city does. I'm trying to project
Well,
where this
what do you mean you
department.
can't? I don't, that doesn't make any sense.
The city's gonna grow that way.
So we need to develop our plan based off of their needs.
Right. The city's gonna grow that way. That's
If
the
we
only way
take
they
their-
got to
I
grow.
guess maybe we're saying the same thing. We take their plan, you
You guys
build
are.
your
They
strategy.
don't have a plan as far as I know. I've never seen any plan where the city's gonna set anything.
Well, and there you go again. Either the chairman, vice chairman, need to sit down with their planning people and or the city of Lansing and say, hey, look, please be advised, you built the schoolhouse out there, and these houses are going out there, and the people who are gonna build those houses are not gonna have, their ratings are gonna be high, and they're gonna have, they need to know that before they build the houses, and the city needs to know that. Because
Well, the other kicker is if they build the airport on the other side of the road, we're gonna build a station over on the airport.
we don't have.
Is the Lansing Planning Commission, is that more reactive instead of
Yeah.
active?
They're
In
real.
other words, they're just reactive with granting permits, no, they're not doing any kind of long-range planning.
They
No.
are working on that right
They're
now.
working
Yeah.
on the comprehensive plan, yeah. And what they see is their comprehensive plan, okay, we want this area to be housing. We want this area to be industrial. We want
Broad brush.
this area to be this. They're not projecting, well, we're gonna have 15 houses out here or 400 houses. We want residential in this area.
So they're leaving all that up.
They're leaving all that up to developers.
But it'd be nice if we all could work together, just
You
like
know
the
what,
school. You got the
is-
school out there, the bond passed, the school district got it done. Now the city's slapped with roads, sewers,
You know,
traffic lights.
It'd probably be a good idea if he sat in on the meeting.
Oh, I sit
an
on,
observer.
I sit on those meetings.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Oh, yes, sir.
So you got a feel. for
Lucky
what's
me,
there.
I get to go to all those meetings. Yep.
Okay.
But like you say, an airport, if they pass it out there on 5 Highway,
We're gonna have a fire station out there.
Is that even
Would
being
have to.
discussed anymore?
It's out there. But again, that's a look that I've gotta look into. You, okay, guys, now we need to buy a crash truck, we need to buy this, we need to buy this.
airport fire.
Airport fire.
Oh, that's
Oh, yeah.
expensive.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, that's gonna have 4 guys 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
And who's gonna pay for it? Well, the airport authority, no,
Yeah.
Fire District 1's gonna pay for it.
And that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying, with everything that you got and what we projecting, and your wish list and the board wish list is right now a little different, but
Your assumptions may be right. I'm not
Yeah,
saying that.
I'm just throwing out there what I see is gonna be, you know, like I say, my crystal ball is no better than anybody else's. I'm just trying to let you guys know, this is what I think, and there's no surprises coming down the road. Well, why didn't you tell us 2 years ago that we needed to replace this truck? I did.
Well, the mill levy is what I'm getting at right
Yeah.
now. And you can, which affects everybody in the fire district. And people are raising Cain now about taxes and taxes. Boy, we start doing some of these projects, and like I said, building a fire department is one thing, another station. But filling them with $500,000 trucks, and then whatever the price of that property is and the house that they're building is, they can just add on a lot more money for their fire protection.
Yeah, and that's what's.
And
gonna
they
happen.
have to know that.
And they have to know, and they do know that. But they don't care because it's not their money.
Well, a developer goes out and develops a house and then he sells them.
Yeah.
And now they got it. And
Yep.
It sounds like we probably need an item for discussion, Station 3, because if some board members are thinking that it should be on there and some aren't, it's probably a good opportunity to discuss it.
But, and like was brought up earlier, I think we don't need to be stirring the pot.
No.
That when a township or the city makes a request of this fire district, then we react and make our decisions. Until then, we're just kind of,
Right.
we're out there stirring the pot with them.
I'm in agreement.
Well, what Rick is doing here on projections is not hurting anybody.
No, not at all, no.
What you're talking
I
about.
don't see the aerial on
What
there,
you're
but-
talking about is when we have to actually get down.
The area will come in, about a year after I retire. Sorry, Dave. Sorry, Dave. I got to look at that. I told Dave next week's year, now next truck 71's replacement.
But Rick, when you first, when I first.
We've had that discussion.
And not trying to belabor this, but, when y'all first got involved, and some of us were out there at Station 2, and you were showing me around, I mean, the fire district doesn't pay for the horizontal construction, the vertical construction. So when you started spending money on Station 2, if I remember what you were saying, is it was like building the guts of that thing. In other words, you went in and built a lounge area, you did that, you did a lot of that with just your labor and.
Yeah.
So that's what this figure represents, what you need to do inside the building to make it.
No, that figure there, that $400,000 for Station 3 is the whole building.
With no guts.
With, no guts, that's by the ground and contract
But
somebody to build the building.
I thought that's what High Prairie was going to
Well,
do.
High Prairie's going to, but we can't guarantee, if we decide, this board decides that we need Station 3, and High Prairie says, yeah, we're not gonna pay for it, then we still need Station 3. That's why that $400,000 in there.
I see where you, I see.
All I'm looking at is,
I
what
see where
our
you're coming from.
responsibility, if we can get a grant, or we can get money from someplace else, that's $400,000 we take
High
out of
Prairie
it.
happens to phone
But
in.
worst case scenario, we need $400,000 for a building out there.
Okay, I see where you're
All
coming
I'm doing is giving you guys, hey, we need to spend it. If we can get a grant someplace else, just like this truck, I put a, grant in to replace this truck again this year. And if we get a grant to replace that truck, outstanding. If we don't, then
Well, okay, I see where you're coming
all
from.
I'm doing is giving you guys a,
I see where you're coming from, and where I was, I've just always heard Dyson saying they had the money to build a building.
yeah, and that's all I'm saying is if he gives it to us, great. If he doesn't give
But
it
like
to
you
us,
say, that might
this is
not
what it's gonna
materialize.
cost the district.
Yeah.
Just, I had $500,000 for an addition back here to put more manpower. Well, right now, we've kind of changed that. If we get more manpower, we're gonna
Go out there.
go out to Station 2 and put living quarters to Station 2 for 50 grand compared to 500 grand.
Right.
And if we get more people, then we'll build Station 3 and put living quarters there, so we should never have to put $500,000 behind this building. We'll have 2 here, we'll have 2 there, we'll have 2 there. We'll build Station 4, we have 2 there.
that's a lot of wishful thinking.
It's down the road. 50 years ago, Lansing had 1 truck and
Yeah.
we responded 12 calls a year.
Yeah.
Now we're responding to 1,000 calls a year.
Yeah.
What's going, I'm not saying it's going, in 10 years. This is
That's
15,
good.
20 years
It
down the road.
is.
So
This is far out projections.
But this
So
is a
for
great
Station
idea.
3, for Station 3, if we had to pony up everything to get the whole thing going, then those other figures is basically based on what it would take to maintain the equipment out there, and
Yeah.
electric, yeah.
Yeah,
Great.
But this is a great proactive step that
that's all I'm trying to
we're
do.
looking down the road, this is what we might have to have. A lot of ifs in here, but
Right.
be prepared, it's not a shocker.
But what I'm trying to do is avoid what we did with Jeff the first year here. Jeff sat down in February, and I said, okay, by the way, now I want a new truck this year, and he goes, whoa, wait a minute, time out, what? So then I come up with this, okay, we're gonna do this in February here, that way, new board members come on, we're not gonna blindside them and say, hey, by the way, Jeff, I want $100,000 out of your pocket tonight.
You did a great job justifying the truck, that's all I'll say.
Well, I think we ought to remove them strike-throughs on that Station 3. I don't see why we're doing that.
You know, say that
I think
again?
Station 3 is gonna be a reality, I just don't know exactly what it is.
Well, and I'll leave it in there, just like I say, the Station 1 expansion, we know that's pretty much a dead issue. I'd
Okay, well, now,
rather spend
yeah,
$500,000 on another building than, you know.
Well, I think we understand the situation with Station 3, but good information. I see a lot of study sessions, work sessions.
And again, we'll all be gone by the time this, you know, this is done.
Probably.
Well, I got projected out to 2029, I mean, 15
Yeah.
years out.
If you talk about me and Jim, we won't.
You'll still be here, right?
I won't be here.
2029, I'll be 90 years old.
Okay, finishing down, before I get completely shot,
Yeah, I thought he was 90
That's
now.
what we all think.
you'll kind of see what I've got down here on you guys give me everything I want list, open checkbook. We need $265,000 this year to put away for equipment. We need $265,000 next year. We finally get out to 2020 or so out there, it drops to 185,000 where we've got all the trucks replaced and we got building bought, and that's what we're gonna need to maintain everything we got. 10 years from now, $185,000 a year. And that's paying cash for everything, we don't have to worry about buying, you know, getting no loans. So, my projection.
And today we're projecting, what are we gonna put away?
This year, we're putting away nothing. Zero. We didn't put any money in for equipment reserve this year.
We put
Oh, I thought
money
we
into
did.
a
We put money last year,
Last year, yeah.
and any money we have left over, but last year, we budgeted money for
If
the
we
equipment
had.
reserve. This year, we did not.
Oh, okay. Yeah, everything we put in was for the.
Yeah, everything we put in this year was to buy the new truck. I think we put in like $10,000 for equipment stuff on the new truck, which we're not gonna spend that much money on it. And then we'll have some money, we always have some money left over at the end of the year, so that's what we put into the equipment reserve. But we need to budget that, and of course, budgeting that is out there, so.
Very good.
Tell you what, this is a great job, Rick. This is got a lot of thought process in this, a lot of experience data. Good baseline to do a lot of discussion and arguing and pulling out hair.
I like
Part of the job. Okay, let's move on to executive session. I'd recommend that we, the first one is to talk about non-elected personnel. This will be the personnel session. And let's start the first one with only board members, and then we'll take it from there. Let's take 15 minutes, make it from 7:45 to 8 o'clock. Motion and second?
I'll make that motion.
A second.
Excuse me. Jim Westmoreland,
Yes.
Lisa Snodgrass. Yes. Charlie Shoemaker,
Yes.
Jeff Clapp,
Yes.
Dean Mober.
Yes. I'd like to call the meeting back to order. And would like to,
You need a
Have a
motion,
motion.
you need a motion. to
go ahead and motion to.
I make a motion, we go back in order.
Nope, you need a motion to come in. Oh, excuse me, sorry.
To come back in.
Sorry.
Yes. Reopen our meeting.
Right, I just made the motion.
That sounded great, I'll second that.
Second.
Thank you.
I'll sit here.
Okay, motion and second?
Jim Westmoreland.
Yes.
Lisa Snodgrass. Yes. Charlie Shoemaker.
Yes.
Jeff Clapp.
Yes.
Dean Mober.
Yes. And I would like to make a motion to go back into executive session to discuss policy.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
For how long?
And let's make it till,
15 minutes anyways.
20 after.
yeah, let's make it 8:20.
Yeah.
Jim Westmoreland,
Yes.
Lisa Snodgrass,
Yes.
Charlie Shoemaker,
Yes.
Jeff Clamp,
Yes.
Dean Mober.
Yes. To return to open session,
So moved?
I'll
Second.
Lisa do.
I'll second.
we'll give it to Lisa.
Yes.
Jim Westmoreland,
Yes.
Lisa Snodgrass.
Yes.
Charlie Shoemaker.
Yes.
Jeff Clamp,
Yes.
Dean Mober.
Yes. Board concerns.
I don't have a concern, but just information. I looked at the 2014 budget, January and February. I tell you what, we're significantly below straight line, which is good. The bottom line, total of the three major line items is 6% under straight line, which is 17%. So if you equate that to dollars, 17% of $824,205 is $137,394, and we've only spent $87,837, so we got roughly $50,000 below straight line.
Jim, I think March is going to be a big,
Well, I'm just saying, but March,
Yeah, we've made 2 truck payments this month.
yeah,
And then we paid a big chunk to workman's comp, so March took a pretty good hit.
and with calls alone.
Oh, gas.
Diesel.
Natural gas for this building this month was $680. We've never had a $600 bill. And then gasoline's gonna be way up there.
Yeah.
But we did make 2 truck payments, one on both new trucks, and then, like I say,
Yeah.
workman's comp.
once March is in, we may be above straight line.
But like I say, right now, it's.
We'll be a lot closer.
But we got a pad going in there.
Yeah, we'll be a lot closer.
You still online to get a truck and people?
In mid-June, I talked to them
Mid-June.
today, they're getting ready to start building it. It hasn't started construction yet, so they're talking mid-June.
Okay. Just one. We're still on track.
We're still on track.
Anything? Charlie, anything else? Nope. Jeff?
Yeah, I got 2 quick comments. One was, we just wrapped up the VFIS insurance. We went with the agent. I was having a conversation with Riley's. They'd like to be involved in the next one. They have some new thoughts around
Well,
how
I
to do
talked
that.
to Mike Riley at the, where did I see Mike Riley?
After we approved it?
Yes.
Yeah,
After
okay.
you made that comment, and he said, I said, 4 years ago, we discussed this with you, and you said at the time you couldn't do anything for us. And he
Yeah.
says, yeah, we can't do anything for you. I said, but you've told one of my board members you can. Well,
Yeah.
I didn't tell him that. Send me a letter, Mike. So
I
Mike
will have a
Riley is
conversation with him because
supposed to be sending me a letter. Oh, I saw it like last city council meeting.
recently.
Last one they just had. Yeah, 2 weeks ago, a month ago. And I said, you talked to one of my board members, I said, remember we went through this 4 years ago and you couldn't, you said you could, and then all of a sudden you come back and said you couldn't, and then I was a liar because a board
Well,
member
no
at
one's
the time.
saying a liar.
No, 4 years ago, that board member called me a liar, saying.
Oh, not me.
No, not you.
All right.
No, different board.
Okay. I wouldn't say use that word.
No,
Probably me.
no, it wasn't you either. But, so he's either gonna send me a letter saying, yeah, he
All
misspoke,
right.
or,
He might, maybe he's not, he was thinking of something different.
yeah, he said the company we've got, he said, that's it. But unless he's gonna be the broker for him, maybe, and that's fine if they wanna be the broker.
Yeah, I don't
But
know.
we're using that CBiz out of Kansas City,
Okay.
and they're going around finding all
I'll
those
double check
prices
with
for it, so.
him and make sure he
Yeah,
sends
I
you a
talked to him
letter.
after the last city council meeting.
Mine was more recent, but
Okay,
It
well,
was-
when
oh, but it's-
when they approved Freddy's, that's when I talked to him that night.
Okay.
City council.
great. And the other one was discussions around working sessions. Starting to get some topics and dates for the next one, unless we already have that, do we? So it's,
If, I think a great one is that comprehensive plan.
I think comprehensive plan and also putting some meat behind a volunteer program.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that's changing that, and I help run it every year, but I think as a board, we ought to put some very strong pressure on getting something that's a lot more robust than it is today. So I think that should be, whether it's a standalone working session, and it's one that, out of that comes action items for changing that, and maybe some funds to help Rick research some new alternatives and ideas and thoughts. We should at least explore that too, because, it's probably going to take a little money to figure out creative ideas and ways that we can bring in some additional volunteers that are qualified and capable. So,
Sounds good.
yeah.
The only thing I've got is, I've never seen a retiree travel so much in my life, but again, next month, one of us will be not here. So how about we look at the 14th, the second Monday?
Why don't we just do a call-in? Yeah. Are you in some other country?
No,
He touches ground at 5:30.
I get off the airplane, if it lands right, at 5:30, and time I get my truck and my bags and get over here, I might miss the meeting. I don't know if it's gonna hurt. Sooner or later, it's gonna happen, whether it's Jim, her, me, you, somebody.
But Jeff, you're traveling a lot now, right?
Every week.
Do you have you know what Mondays you're gonna be gone?
I'm going every Monday,
Are you?
except this one because I changed it so I could be here.
Then, what's good for you then? 7th, 14th?
Whatever's on the plan, I haven't I'll adjust accordingly, but it's, it's part of the deal. You can call in, or you can,
Yeah,
if you can't make it,
right.
you can't make it. It's gonna happen. I think
Just
Charlie's
can't have
right.
executive sessions decent, but that's
Yeah,
why
I
I
would
would
agree with
postpone
you.
this one.
Yes,
But,
yeah.
like I say, Charlie will be getting in at 5:30, hopefully, on the 7th.
Yeah.
So,
That's a Monday?
correct. That's our next scheduled
That would
meeting.
be the first Monday.
Mondays or Fridays. I'm home on Fridays, but I'll work around our more senior board.
And see, that's probably my problem, is I usually fly out on Fridays.
So,
Hey,
that's
guys,
right.
what difference do you guys?
14th?
7th or 14th, I mean,
Oh, it doesn't make a difference to me either one.
14th.
okay, let's shoot for the second Monday of April
14th, huh?
14th for our next meeting. And let's see, March, we'll be due, let's get some ideas together for our, at our next meeting for a work session.
Good. She wants to send those over to you, pass them around a little bit?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right.
All right, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second.
Jim Westmoreland,
Yeah.
Lisa Snodgrass.
Yes.
Charlie Shoemaker.
Yeah.
Jeff Platt,
Yes.
Dean Mobile.
Yes.
Okay.